So it's time to start our second panel discussion. Are the schools and parents ready for NEP vision into action? So we have on board here as panelists Dr. Jyoti Gupta, Dr. Anbhuti Mehta, Professor Dr. Namita Rajput, and Mr. Lalit Prasad. And the session would be moderated by Dr. Arnab Singh. So let me introduce the panelists. Dr. Jyoti Gupta, founder and director, DPS Sahibabad, and director KRM GK2. He is an eminent educationist and has gained a prominent position in the educational arena due to her exemplary work. In 2018, the MHRD and CBSE reposed their trust in Dr. Gupta as an educationalist by appointing her as the member of the governing body of CBSE. She has also been appointed as a member of the first standing committee of academics in NCTE, National Council for Teacher Education. In tandem with her philosophy of creating leaders, she has trained principals and teachers by taking empowerment conferences around the world. Welcome, ma'am. Now, I take pleasure in inviting Dr. Anbhuti Mehta, Educational Administrator, Director, DPS, Modinagar. Ma'am is qualified senior level professional with a rich experience of 30 plus years in steering the functions of school administration, teachers training and staff development, teaching, content development, student counseling and motivation, e-content publication and licensing activities. Having served Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan for 23 years, took VRS as Assistant Commissioner to venture out in the public schools. Madam holds membership of various education ventures like NABED, Chairperson of Anganwadi Project Government of Delhi, National Advisor to Center of Education Foundation. Ms. Mehta has received many awards for her contribution to education. To name a few, NTAB Education Company, Lifetime Achievement Award, SED Foundation, Educationist of the Year, Bachpan Group of Schools. Thank you, ma'am. And I take pleasure in inviting Dr. Namita Rajput. Professor Dr. Namita Rajput has served as the principal at Sri Aurobindo College, University in Delhi for a term of 3 years and has an enriching experience as Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, Sri Aurobindo College. Besides her rich teaching experience for almost 27 years, she has contributed tremendously in the area of research, primarily focused on areas concerning banking and finance, human resource management, and sustainability. Over 200 conference proceedings and publications in a plethora of listed journals are credited to her name. With her versatile experience in teaching, research, and social welfare activities, Ma'am is well versed with the capabilities to promote a learning environment for students which would not only be enriching academically, but would also be integrated with the broader social environment, having served the academics for almost 30 years, including a term of 3 years as principal. Welcome, ma'am. Now we have Mr. C.S. Lalit Prasad, Head Professional Development, South Asia Cambridge University Press and Assessment. He is a computer science graduate and post-graduation in education and is pursuing research in education, started the career with Azim Premji Foundation and later moved on to American Indian Foundation to lead education-related programs in few states of India. Previous assignment before joining Cambridge International was the British Council, heading 3 states for implementing Teacher Professional Development Program, which was academically led by the Open University UK. It was very exciting experience to be a part of the team which developed and implemented massive open online course for teacher educators across India in 2015. Thank you, sir, for being here. And now it's time for me to introduce our moderator, Dr. Arnab Singh. Doctor is an accomplished educationist and director, principal of Nehru World School in Ghaziabad. His philosophy is summed up in the quote, "Technology may not replace teachers, but teachers who use technology effectively will replace those who don't." In addition to his role at Nehru World School, Dr. Singh holds several prestigious positions in the education community. He is the co-chairman of Wiki Rise for UP, a member of the School Standards Setting Committee under the National Education Policy India 2020, and a British Council School Ambassador. He also serves on the Cambridge South Asia Advisory Board, where he provides valuable insights and perspectives on education in the region. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being.
Going to witness is the best panel ever. And I'll tell you why it's going to be the best panel ever. Because everyone on the panel has either been a teacher for a fairly long time in their life or has been involved in training of teachers, but understands the pain point of teachers. You know, when you get a 6 marks question and the child repeats the same answer 3 times in different language. Now, these panelists are not going to do this. They've promised all of us that they are not going to give you a theory or gyan or a philosophy that doesn't translate into actionable intelligence in the classroom. Now, come on, your right hands forward and say, I do. I do. Okay. So now you're going to see, Aditi ma'am spoke about the tree. Yeah, you remember? She spoke about the tree. I have 5 years experience of being the tree.
My daughter was a tree.
I remember telling my mother, when you come for the annual function, I am the 3rd tree in the 5th row. You became pollution? Right. I also had the experience of being told to not sing in chorus. They hadn't even given me the mic. I wasn't good enough to sing even in chorus. Guess where that got me? What we plan to discuss is NEP and its implementation. Where are schools and are we really ready as parents? The topic doesn't talk about the teachers. It says, are the schools and the parents ready for the national education policy? While I'm sure this is a PhD topic, we will attempt to solve it in what, 37 minutes? How many minutes do we have? Sorry? When did they start? Okay, they're starting now. Right. Right, okay, so don't forget, no theories, we are only doing actionables here. If I see people in the audience on their phone, that is only because they are taking notes of what you are saying. They are not on WhatsApp, and they're certainly not on Instagram. Neither my questions and nor my panelist answers today have been found on ChatGPT. None of them have seen the questions day before yesterday. They have not been on a practice session for this. And they have not agreed that these are the questions I would ask them. That question paper has not been out to them yet. So let me surprise you. We start with Dr. Jyoti Gupta. She's also my neighbor. She's a serial principal and school entrepreneur. She's been on cbse governing body. She's been on more boards than the number of times I've been a tree in annual functions. As a founder and director of multiple schools, first of all, have you been preparing your teachers for what NEP is going to ask us to do? And if you have, tell us in simple words 3 ways in which you've been doing it. If the audience is not happy with the focus of the question or the answer, you will get to judge both of us. Now, detention is allowed.
Okay. So we have the CBSE, the management, the principals, and the teachers here. And it is imperative that whenever there is a change, and there is a huge change, like the new National Education Policy 2020, that we talk about it to all the stakeholders. And teachers are one of the most important stakeholders. It is important that they understand what the vision of the policy is, and they translate that vision into the classrooms. What is happening in the classroom is between the child and the teacher. Even the principals do not have too much of control over what the teacher is going to do in the classroom when she's going to be with the children. So it is imperative and very important to sensitize the teachers and to train the teachers so that they can transact in the classroom, they can assess the children as they are supposed to assess. And when they are transacting, they are able to transact through the pedagogies, the innovative pedagogies that are outlined in the new National Education Policy 2020. So I'm coming to how. 3 ways of doing it is talking to the teachers, sensitizing them through the workshops, then monitoring the lesson plans the teachers are making. Because what the teacher is going to do in the classroom, the planning of it is very important. And one of the workshops, initial workshops, which Anita Karwal ma'am had taken, she said, if you do not plan under the NEP as a teacher, you will plan to fail. So if you don't want to plan to fail, then plan, plan, plan was her exact words in the quotations. So planning is extremely important. So what the teachers are writing in that lesson plan, what are they going to do for those 40 minutes that they are there in the class? Are they just going to talk, or are they going to talk for 20 minutes? What is the pedagogy? What is the strategy that they are going to use? How are they going to assess the children? How are they going to do the remediation? What kind of testing or evaluation will be done? And what kind of collaboration will be done? How the children will be presenting and communicating what they have learned? How will they create new knowledge? And how will they critically think? If all these things are not embedded into the lesson plan, that means the teacher is not ready to go. And the third thing is, how is the teacher reporting what is being done in the class? The transaction is done, the assessment is done. What is the format of the reporting that the school or the leader has adopted as to what is that end of the year progress card, which is a holistic progress card? What is it going to look like? If you have been able to plug that with the teachers, that means the teacher has understood what is her role in implementing the new National Education Policy.
The problem with what you're saying is, often school managements don't spend adequate money and time on teacher training. Or they fear, what will happen if I train this person and this person leaves? But the bigger fear is, imagine you don't spend time and money on the teacher to train and the teacher stays.
So I would say train the teachers nevertheless. If she's not going to contribute to the children of my school, she will train the children of some other school. At least we create an ecosystem whereby every individual who wants to be exposed to the children, or the other way around. If you want your children to be exposed to that teacher, she needs to be trained. Period. Full stop.
And we need to celebrate this new training. We see how happy children are when they get their certificate in the assembly. It might not be a bad idea to give the teacher her certificate or his certificate in the assembly as well. And something we tried with our certificates, often you get the merit certificates and then you get the participation certificate. So we changed the name of participation certificate to commendable performance. And now that became worthy of being kept as effort that was recognized. It was just a terminology shift, but now it had found more value and was going to give the child more motivation for next time. I want to go to Namita next. Namita's been the principal of a college in Delhi University. Delhi University is where I studied as well. So she can actually say, "Jahan ke tum student ho, wahan ke hum principal reh chuke hain." NEP has a clear emphasis on interdisciplinary learning and vocational education. In fact, you are also writing some books for schools to develop these skills. Do you think if we spend time on this, interdisciplinary learning and vocational education in school, it would have any impact on higher education and also children's readiness for the jobs that await them?
Yeah, definitely. The knowledge, skills, and attitude, what he's talking about, that is the cognitive abilities, that is the affective domain, and the psychomotor domain, enveloping all the 360-degree development of the children. If it is being started at the school level, like I developed the marketing skill book for class 6th and 7th, and 8th is in progress. So we conceptualize the things into a very easy manner, like a child is related more with chocolate. So, taking them to the concepts of retailer, buyer, seller through chocolate will really help him developing the basic concepts of the marketing. And all the learning outcomes were very rationally and very intelligently and very diligently, they were weaved together. And all the learning outcomes of 6th, 7th, and 8th were in progress. Like, this is the concept which he has done in advance. This is the concept which he will do in class 8. So they are related. So the child is definitely in a progressive journey of his cognitive ability. And of course, all these skill sets, if they are made, so whatever the college syllabus are made, like I'm into a revision committees of undergraduate curriculum framework, which is definitely when we are asked to make the syllabus and all that. So we see what he has done in the past. So we dwell on that. So definitely all these things will matter a lot if the child has the skill sets in the school and they are continued in the college. So definitely he's into a very fast progressive cognitive journey. And definitely we can also, applaud, bloom into it. That is, we are creating the lots to hots, that is the low order thinking skills to high order thinking skills, right? Lots will be in the school and hots will be in the college. So this kind of a, amalgamated journey of the school and the colleges will definitely pave a way to achieve the essence of the new education policy. This is what I strongly believe.
Thank you very much. Do you think the panelists are adhering to the promise that they had made? Can we hear it for them then? Yeah? No pressure on you. Only because the two of them could do it doesn't mean you can also do it. Nobody's judging, huh? There is no summative assessment that's going to happen here. Absolutely.
Thank you.
इसमें माइक की कोई गलती नहीं है.
इसमें मेरी गलती.
So Anubhuti's got experience working both in the private sector and the government sector. and understands the nuances of how education is a concurrent list subject. So while the national education policy is made by the center, but there are also states, including this one, who are saying that the NCF is questionable and the national education policy is also questionable. And realizing the challenges of that implementation. How many of you go inside a classroom every day? People who find themselves inside a classroom every day. Great. So, how do you think the basic tenets of the national education policy can be translated into the classroom by those who want?
I think the appropriate question is asked to me, and I was expecting this question. Let me just quote one nice quotation. Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan, head of NEP drafting committee, he quotes, Indian education system is most underfunded, heavily bureaucratized, and lacks the capacity of innovation to scale up, which sums up the NEP in 3 words. But our Prime Minister says national education policy is Shiksha Parv. And a person from CBSE sitting here, Mr. Manoj Srivastava, he says, I find no challenge in NEP. And I agree with you, sir. There is no challenge in NEP implementation if we as leaders of elite school look at it in a different angle, because we are not underfunded.
How?
We have chairman of the school sitting in front of me. Ask him, have the lack of funds in the school? No. The elite schools don't have the shortage of funds. Only thing, the political will has to be there, and I am sure he has. This is the reason we all are sitting here on the platform and discussing about NEP. Now, coming to the important points of NEP, which as a school director or a founder or people sitting on this side and that side at the helm of affairs have to take care. First and foremost thing is NEP talks about foundation years. Foundation years are 5 years, 3 to 8 years of education. Have we prepared our schools to have 3 years of preschooling, which has come under the ambit of formal schooling now? If you remember, earlier preschool and nursery was in play school segment, but now it is a formal school. How many schools are prepared? Many of the elite schools are still practicing 2 years of preschooling. But I have set up few schools with 3 years of preschooling, which is very important. You have to ensure that parents are consulted that only a child must complete 3 years of age when they enter into formal schooling. And when you take admission of grade 1, the child must complete 6 years of age. Have we prepared for this? No. If we have not prepared, so we have not read the document in letter and spirit. Second thing comes to the classroom. When we come to the classroom, have we prepared our teachers for experiential learning? That is the second point. If not, please make sure the lot of emphasis is given on experiential learning and take care of your pre-primary teachers. That is the most neglected part of the schools. The senior leaders sitting here are worried about school education, are worried about 10th and 12th, not worried about foundation years. Third important thing which NEP talks about is the mother tongue. And we all have spoken about it since morning that we don't have a content in mother tongue available to us.
And doesn't talk about father's tongue at all.
Yeah, no. Father tongue is always considered as smaller, so we don't bother.
Irrelevant.
Mother tongue is better. And if I say, Paunara, Hyderabad, then what do you say? Do you think I'm Telugu? No. It is connecting with you. Paunara, Chairman Garu, I'm grateful to you. You have invited us here. I'm connecting with you. I'm using your mother tongue to get connected, and that is very well possible inside the classrooms. We can inform children, Bhavanara means how are you. So instead of teaching English as a part of etiquettes, just teach them that Bhavanara is how are you. And if you say Garu, that's a respect you can give to anybody. That's what I have learned while my stint in Hyderabad. And please correct me if I'm wrong. So the concept of having mother tongue in NEP serves the purpose if we teach children the greetings at least to connect with. Instead of teaching them how should they greet, good morning, good afternoon, just teach them what do you say in Telugu and how do you say in Hindi. Then I come to the next point.
Oh, you were allowed 3 points.
Allow me to finish now. I come to the next
Okay, fourth point.
When we talk about Hindi and Sanskrit, 3-language formula, most of us shy away teaching Hindi and Sanskrit purely in the classrooms. We don't allow our children to recite the mantras which are the roots of Indian education system. And Hindi is also taught in English. Most of our teachers teach Hindi in English. They go inside the classroom and say good morning. Why can't they say Suprabhat? So that the concept is missing. You don't say Suprabhat, so please start saying so. Or at least say Namaste, that is the Indian way of saying so. And so next thing, very important, from grade 6 onward.
I have to come in. So you were allowed 3 points, you got 4 points. Now next question, 1 point minus. Next time you would only get point A and point B. But you see, the thing about communication is, there are times when we think it has happened, but it hasn't. Happens often in my wife and my conversations. I think I have communicated, but she thinks otherwise. I'm not saying that. I was talking about my wife. So, you'll get another opportunity. So, interesting, I talked about the father's tongue, and there's a reason why I say this. In the national curriculum framework for the foundation years, the word mother is mentioned 34 times. The word father is mentioned 3 times. 3 times. And
Yes.
only once is the document actually saying we will try to include the father. That's the only time when it addresses the father. This is try to include the father. You know, I sit here in protest. I want to go to Lalit. Agreed that there is no father's tongue and there is no man's voice in the curriculum framework, but I'm happy that you are here. And the role that you have is to lead on professional development of teachers for Cambridge in India. Our schools do the Cambridge Professional Development Qualifications. Fantastic certification. A lovely work. So congratulations on that. My question to you is twofold. Cambridge was the first board that came out with the editorial that you are ready for NEP. In fact, it had come out only a week after the NEP was launched. There was a big article in Times of India, and somebody from cbse actually sent it to me and asked me, how is Cambridge ready for this? This just came out last week. The answer to that is because it's future ready. What Cambridge has been doing is future ready. What 118 Nobel laureates coming out of Cambridge so far. So it's no coincidence that your curriculum was maybe ready for it. What are you planning to offer to schools that are affiliated to Cambridge to prepare their teachers for NEP implementation? And can the non-Cambridge affiliated schools expect anything from Cambridge to prepare them better for the NEP implementation?
Yeah. So thank you so much for that. And yes, so firstly, I need to say that there are a lot of deliberation and discussion that's been happening, and also asking teachers to follow lot many things. So from morning, we have been saying that, yes, NEP is content oriented and also pedagogy oriented, assessment oriented. everything is actually focusing and pointing to teachers, by the way. I mean, only if the teachers are capable or maybe supported well, then things can actually take place in the classroom. So just getting on to the first point, so when actually the media claimed that we are NEP ready, so it was more with the early child education. So it was an EY program that we launched for the first time, and this was piloted, or actually we did a launch in India because we wanted to see how it actually gets into the whole ecosystem of early years, and also understand what are the nuances that might come as a feedback to us, and also probably then go global. So with this test, I think it had a lot of popularity and also acceptance, and now we have gone global. The second thing, I think, second part of the question is interesting. So when I say Cambridge, we are not only talking about the curriculum that we provide to the schools. It's coming with a host of services, I should say products and services, because I think the books that the school use in the cbse is also coming from Cambridge. So we have taken into account all those nuances that we've been discussing, and also all the experts are talking now. And what we have added, and also this is the point that I wanted to actually stress a bit more, that we have teacher support services exclusively. Because, I mean, it's good to say that, okay, these assessment needs to be done this way, and also probably you have to connect this material and things like that. But if there is no support for a teacher to understand the sequence or a progression of using those materials, then I think the teacher is stuck in the classroom in the middle of the lesson. Sometimes she gets into class and also she wants to do many things, but still she's unable to, or she's unclear of doing certain things. It could be a formative assessment, it could be hand-holding, so on and so forth. So what we're trying to do is that one bit is we're going to exclusively, along with the textbooks, prepare a teacher support handbook so that the teacher understands the nuances in terms of how this can actually get into the classroom. The second important thing I wanted to also... Yes, it is for all schools. It is not only exclusive for Cambridge. It's already there for some of the subjects with the already in the market, but we are thinking. So yeah, you have to find it with the dealers or with the Cambridge people, and also. If I go to the Cambridge website, yeah. Are you able to download a PDF? Not the whole of it, but maybe the essence of it or a gist of it, you will be able to download that. But if you want to order for a trial pack, then you have to approach us, and also only then you're going to get. So it's only going to give you some indicators upon it. My email address? That's only cambridge.org. That's more than sufficient, I think. Yeah, you'll find all this. Yes, you can find all this, what I'm saying. And you will send it? Yes, Cambridge will send it. Okay. I know, he's making me more accountable. But he supported me saying father tongue, but now I think he's spotting me. Anyway, so the other important point I wanted to mention is we have the certificate and diploma programs, which are curriculum agnostic. And also, it is not dependent on any single curriculum. So what we have done there is, deliberately we have added 2 more certificate programs that are more looking like exclusive for NEP implementation. For example, one is certificate for classroom practice, and also certificate for early years. So this is coming exclusively, sorry? How do I access it? If my school's not a Cambridge school, how do I access it? So the teachers needs to approach the Professional Development Qualification Center, which are open within the Cambridge International Schools or the private institutions which are offering other teacher education programs, and they have to enroll there and also get the certificate program. That's the big way, or most of the teachers access through this way. The other way we are also trying is, can we make those programs online so that a teacher can come to our website and also probably select this program and also do it online. But we have not opened it yet because we are in the testing phase. So very soon I think we are going to come on and announce that it can also be done online very soon. Very much for that. Lady who's doing time, how many minutes do we have? 3 minutes? Okay, so now is rapid fire. Yeah? So from 4-mark question format, I go to 2-mark question format.
There is negative marking for writing more. Before MCQs, then I have to check the overall sheet. That's a bit of a challenge. I remember we were center for NEP exam. And this one child on the OMR sheet had only drawn what he could see from where he was sitting in the class. He did not attempt to see the question. When he was giving the answer sheet back, later in the classroom, why are you deceiving your parents? Child said, I'm not deceiving them. They are deceiving me. I know I will not get it. As much as it is hilarious, imagine the plight of this child who's been repeatedly asked to write that exam, that he knows that he's not getting it or probably doesn't want. But that's not Jyotigupta. Jyotigupta is ready with an answer. He's there by choice. He's from Delhi. My question to you, can I include the fathers in my question? When I say parents, I mean both mother and how can parents support, or how can we use parents' support to get our children to become more reflective, to get our children to ask better questions? We're already in the age where ChatGPT is giving you easy answers. So clearly what NEP envisions that we would be able to ask questions, be more reflective, lead ourselves towards knowledge. How can schools leverage parents towards this?
Fortunately, we are living in the times where the parents of the children who are now coming to us in schools are educated. They are not like our parents who did not have an opinion in education when we people were studying. So all parents who are coming to us, they have something or the other to suggest to the schools. They have an opinion, they have the expectations, and they have a few suggestions. So it's only important that they, as the stakeholders, be involved in the development of their children holistically. So that makes it 3 stakeholders. My last question, I said teachers are most important stakeholders. The parents are equally important. And of course, it's the children because of which all of us exist. The schools exist because it is for the development of the children. So whether you talk about assessments, you talk about transaction, you talk about reporting, everything at the end of the day is for the development of the children. So how do you involve the parents? None of the parents want the children to rote memorize what the schools or the teachers are teaching. Cognitive domain, as Ms. Rajput was saying, is important, but is the affective domain and the psychomotor domain is equally important. It's important for the parents to understand that art is an integration and sports as an integration. And we have Sunita ma'am sitting here who has worked extensively in these pedagogies and has worked extensively in art as well. So how are these important as well? Not just as a part of the performance, but also as a pedagogy. So there was a time when we people were growing up, I'll just take maybe 2 more minutes, when we were growing up, where we said, I don't know how many of you understand Hindi, पढ़ोगे लिखोगे तो बनोगे नवाब, खेलोगे कूदोगे तो होगे खराब. So we are coming from that mindset. पढ़ाई कर लो, ये आर्ट वाट मत बनाना, ये डांस वांस नहीं करना, you're wasting your time, it's your exam time. But now we are talking about art as pedagogy. We are talking about sports as pedagogy. The Pythagoras theorem can be best taught in the field. The set theory can be best taught with cricket. Similarly, some of the geometry can be best taught through art. So the parents have to understand this. They have to understand that the children do not need to rote memorize. And second thing, most important thing, my child is in science. My child, because he's the brightest, will become an engineer, take up PCM. Not very bright, commerce. Cannot study humanities. The toppers of the board have been the children from the liberal arts. So no silos. The parents have to understand that subjects are very important. Each subject is taking you towards a specialization. And the new national education policy is giving an equal importance to the all-round development of the children. So the parents have to come in, become the stakeholders and understand the policy. So advocacy is the way to go.
Thank you very much. So what you're saying is to communicate and include the parent. You know, some parents save their principals save their mobile numbers from the parents. Like they are the Nigerian scam call. I sometimes ask them, that person is leaving what is most important, most precious to them with you for 6 whole hours. And you can't leave your telephone number with them. What kind of a barter are we talking? Moving to it's not a rosy picture. What NEP is expecting us to do is different. Some of us are closer to that reality, some are not as. Some of us might have taught classrooms 8 teachers. And it's not easy to make a class of 8 children better. Not impossible. Not easy. What we are understanding is the single biggest challenge. Start moving towards any clear reality in the class. That's question number 1 now. And is there a simple answer to start that journey? That's another question.
First answer, no challenge. 1 mark, board. Second answer, it's a will which matters. Where there is a will, there is a way. We can prepare. Both marks, board.
Thank you. You qualified. See, Lalit, this is the example. This is how you set an example. This is like the principal coming into the substitution classroom and teaching that chapter that the teacher was going to teach was absent today. You are sitting with legendary panelists here. You ended your previous answer with saying that you're also attempting to take your training online. 5 minutes. You do 5 questions, each in 5 minutes, if that is the example you're setting. So you ended with online and how Cambridge is leveraging technology. Having been on that website already, I know if everybody here went on that website today, they would come back more enriched. In the 2-mark answer format, can you tell us what will they already find that will help them and what they can possibly find in the near future? On your website, the professional development website, what are stuff that they can already find, download and start using them? And what is something that you're working on and something
Yeah.
that will come in?
So I think what you can already find is the information about the programs that we already are kind of offering. So, and also when you get there, it's not only showing you the titles, you can download the syllabus document, which means you'll understand what it entails. So we have modules for this professional development. So you get certificates. It's a qualification. So it's not just a kind of a course or like a active participation and things like that. It is a qualification that will be recognized at an international teacher education forum. So the syllabus document is available, and also you will get the duration of the course. So the module 1 calls for 4 months, the module 2 and 3 calls for remaining 8 months, so on and so forth. So in total, if you get onto our website, you'll completely find all the details there about the course. And also, very importantly, you'll also find how much the course costs you. So that's very important. And also, how do you make the payments? So that flexibility is given to you so that anyone who wants to understand that can approach the PDQ centers and also contact them and also get this done. The other important bit I wanted to touch, Rab, is that also we have something called as curriculum agnostic assessment. Because from morning I was just hearing a lot of assessments, and also we spoke about attributes, we spoke about a lot of other things, and also we see capacities in the document. So the curriculum agnostic assessment is important. We need to understand how the child is faring in his or her own abilities. So what is the kind of measure we can derive of a child in terms of numeracy, the literacy, and also PSCDs, that is the socio-emotional development quotient. So these are available on the Cambridge website, and it is open for everybody. It is not only for Cambridge schools, it is open for all schools. I think there are few schools which have already kind of taken this, and also they have seen the result, which is very useful to talk to the parents and also tell that these are the areas the improvement is required. Sorry, it comes with the cost. It's not free of cost.
So what we do as a school, we enroll the teachers for free. School's cost to enroll. If you just ask, you get a distinction, then you pick any certain cost. We sort of verified irrespective of what happens, we will get an whenever a student in class where they used to write to talk in class. Why? But how does it matter to my parents who have stopped? No matter what I have done, is irrelevant because that child has done much more. Some schools would also put it on my report card. For marks, I guess marks in class.
I can add a word. This is called childhood trauma.
Agree more with you. And because you reminded me of that, not that the audience is going to traumatize you in the 2 minutes. If there is a burning question, I'm happy for you to have a word. If there is a burning question, you can find your question very at the back. And ask. If you don't, then
2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Yes.
this entire conversation about NEP is going to make us is not. This is the learner. How is it going to make it more for
Yeah, as far as the higher education institutes are concerned, every day we get a new update in terms of implementation of NEP, that you have to conduct the gender sensitization workshops, you have to celebrate some commemorate days, you have to do the career and development programs, you have to do student development programs, you have to actually train the faculty in order to cater to these challenges which the NEP is putting. So what we are actually trying to do, a 360-degree development so that the students are ready for the 21st century job challenges. So what we do is, what the curriculum is not able to give the child what we are supposed to give in the classroom. So we start with some add-on courses. We have some skill courses. We have ability enhancement courses. So SAC, WAC, and AECC, that is Ability Enhancement Certificate courses, they are in place and they are implemented now. And last week a new curriculum framework came in terms of implementation of NEP, that we are incorporating the Indian knowledge system into our system. So we are going back to roots, and I think the assessment will be 5% of the total credits which are earned by the college students. So we are actually now, putting a lot of efforts for the student to become knowledgeable in terms of different spheres, that is the multidisciplinary flavor. So that is really going to enhance his knowledge, make him more, upskilled in terms of Python, in terms of English communication, in terms of data analytics. So the courses which were not there earlier, like retail management, so we are actually, they have devised the syllabus wherein the practical orientation is at the core and not the theory. So like the agriculture farming, the organic farming, so wherein the students will be taken to the fields and experiential learning, the projects, the overall, the orientation is action-oriented, not the theory-oriented. So this is what we are actually doing into action to make NEP a reality. So theory is minimized to the minuscule level, and the practical is magnified to the maximum level. So this is the essence of the NEP, what we are following at the college level. And we are also, just 1 minute, if we are, like we have 27 languages which are offered. So if the college is not able to give that particular, like the Tamil is there, the Gujarati is there. So we have opened up the cluster colleges, and the classes will be given at the same time for all the colleges. So students can go to those cluster colleges and fulfill their needs of learning that particular language. So the efforts were very few, which I said, but there are many more.
I want to remind you that you have a flight. I'll share this one example of what we do in the school, and maybe a minute and then we'll be gone. So from grade 1 onwards, in the school that I love, we allow children to run real businesses every year. So you come to the classroom, present a business idea, almost like a short. Once the class decides one business, school then funds that business with 20,000 rupees. They don't have to go back home and ask their parents. Students then run this business across the year. If they make a profit, then they keep the profit and decide what they want to do with it. And give us our principal amount. If they make a loss, then they just give us a loss balance sheet and whatever money is left. We've got a very solid documentation of this entire process. Very happy sharing whichever school wants to run a program. Thank you. So finally later on, and I'd be happy to just WhatsApp it to you or email it. We feel in many ways it ticks a lot of boxes for what NEP aspires for us to do. I wish we had more time, but then 2 of these panelists have flights to catch. They don't make the flight, then there would be a burden on 3 of, and they will come back and be in a panel tomorrow morning. Let's not do this anymore. Thank you very much for being a very active audience.